All right, so now you have opened your new app again. Now we are ready to start working on the project we are working on yesterday, which is the GIS Training 2024. So please, if you have the GIS Training 2024, please click on that project. Click on GIS Training 2024. Now, once you click it, you have to give it some time to open. Okay. So now this is how you open your previous projects, because yesterday um, we created a project called GIS Training 2024, and then we closed it. And then today we want to continue working on that particular project, which is GIS Training 2024. So now, if your project is open, now if your project is open, if your project is open, now all what you need to do is, yesterday we were on polygon creation. I said that we have points, polyline, and polygon. There are certain features that we create as polygon. There are certain features we create as lines. Like, for example, if we want to digitize road network, we would digitize it as a line. If we want to if we want to create shape files for settlements, we can either use polygon, or we can either use points. Say, for example, if we want to know the shape, the area of a particular settlement, we will not use points. We will use a polygon to create that feature. So now we are going to continue creating polygon as we did yesterday. So if your mining list boundary is on, you can decide to switch it on, you can decide to leave it off. You can switch it on or off. Yesterday I said this is how we switch on, off, on, off. You switch on, you switch off. So now please switch off your mining list boundary. Now I gave an assignment yesterday that we should create polygons of some of the um, reservoirs. So I want you have to post it on the group so that I will see. Now we want to continue with, there are principles which I want to show you when you are digitizing, based on the photos I saw in the group. Number one, let's say I want you guys to watch keenly and listen. You do not have to demonstrate this right now, just watch. Now what I want to do is, I want to continue editing dams. Let's say, for example, I want to digitize this dam. Now all what I need to do is, I will need to go to edit. I don't know why this is this, this guy is showing there. I'm not seeing my edit guy, so you think something is blocking me here. Okay, so all what I'll do is, I'll go to my edit. So I'll go to my edit, and then once you click edit, you go to create. You go to create. Once you click on create, now you will see that dams is activated, because that is the shapefile you want to start editing. Once you click on dams, you will see that your edit session has been activated. That means you are ready to start drawing, or you are ready to start digitizing. So we call it in the mapping of GIS digitizing. So basically, digitizing is a process of tracing, as a process of tracing a geographic feature. As a process of tracing a geographic feature. Let's say, for example, the extent of this pool is a geographic feature. The extent of this water or reservoir is a geographic feature. So if I want to trace the edges, it means I'm digitizing. So if you hear the word digitize, is to trace a feature. Say, for example, I want to trace this road. It means I want to digitize. In other words, I want to digitize. So now, if I want to digitize this pond, if I zoom out like this and I start digitizing, it will not be correct. I will miss the extent because I'm not seeing the extent properly. And that is how I saw some pictures that we posted that the polygons were off the limit of the ponds. So if you want to properly digitize, if you want to properly digitize the polygon, all what you need to do is you zoom in. You really have to zoom in like this, where you can see the extent. And now I can start left clicking. Once you left click, if that is the function of your mouse, I can left click again. And then I put another one here. And then I'll zoom out. You see, when I want to zoom out, I'll not zoom out like this. I'll bring my arrow this way, and then I'll bring my arrow back to where I want it. And then I'll left click, and then I'll follow just the extent. I'll follow the water edge. But if you just zoom, if your zoom is like this, and then you are digitizing the water, you wouldn't see the edges properly. So you really have to zoom in a little bit, you see, for accuracy. And then you can zoom out, and then you can follow something like this. So this is how I want us to neatly do our digitization. Hmm? If you zoom out like this, you wouldn't see proper. You will complete digitization quick, but it will not be accurate because you will not see the edges of the reservoir. So we have a lot of reservoir. Um, we have a lot of reservoir. I will undo and I'll go back and I'll continue digitizing. And then I'll double click. So this is a technique I want to show you tonight, that when you want to digitize, you have to properly zoom on the feature that you want to digitize for it to be accurate. Because imagine you are giving this area of pond to let's say to your manager or to a mine manager, and then you tell your manager, say the area of the pond is, let's say, 500 square meters or whatever, which is not correct. So you have to um, zoom on the particular feature, guys. You have to zoom on that area. So that's how we do it. Okay. I hope we all get that part. So once you double click now, you can go now and say save. You have to save your edits, because if you don't save your edits and then you just do this save, you are saving the project. You are not saving the edit. So always make sure that anytime you do edit, you save your edit. Because if you don't save your edit, if you close this project, all the job that you have been doing, maybe for 1 hour or 2 hours or whatever, it will be gone. Okay. So can we please digitize? Can you please look for a particular pond? Not just not a big one, maybe a smaller one, and then you zoom on that particular pond, and then you start digitizing dams. Can we all do that quickly, please? We have 3 minutes remaining, and then we will go off, and then we will come back again to reconnect. Okay, but please look for a pond, even if it's a small pond. Look for that pond, and then go to dams. You are under edit, and then create, and then you click on dams, and then you begin to digitize the edge of your pond. Make sure you zoom in properly to the edges of your pond when you are digitizing, because if you don't do it properly, you will not give an accurate value. Let's say they want to know the size of the pond, and then you go and give, due to your a polygon, let's say you give a wrong value. So you really have to zoom on your future. So can you please do that, please? You zoom onto the edge. Don't overdo it, because if you over zoom, you will digitize a particular feature for God knows when. So you do not have to overdo it. Just zoom on a little bit where you can see the extent of your geographic feature that you are digitizing. You can take any reservoir. Let's click. Let's click. Please use your discretion. You can use your discretion. You can look at a particular extent. You say, let me follow this extent. Don't say somebody has to tell you that this is the extent of the water or the reservoir. Once you are done, please double click. When you are done, you double click to complete your polygon, and then you go to save. Then I will look for another pond. We have 1 minute, 18 seconds remaining. And then I will rejoin you guys again. All right, guys, I'll stop for now because we have 1 minute remaining.